Okay. Oh, yeah, I always forget that. I'll put that in the link tree as well. I think it's on our website also. All right. The podcast is super nice. So, which piece to keep and which to get rid of? That's the name of the game with the extra details on this post. I cannot say your name. I'm so sorry. You're a junior environment artist in Ubisoft Berlin. Oh man, awesome. There's some good people over there. Not only in their skill, but just great, nice people to be around. So let's go over the overall perception of your portfolio and what you want to do. So you're a junior environment artist at Ubisoft Berlin. And I think that's all I need to know. Not because I know you're hired as that, right? Yeah, this I think it's TC is there you go. Um yeah, I would say your portfolio tells me you're an environment artist. There's the props that you've actually separated out from the scene. I think we're going to get right into it and talk about your thumbnails because I think that is actually the weakest thing in your portfolio. Like, sure, art can be kind of bumpy, right? But it's the way your thumbnails come off as very busy or noisy in comparison to the one next to it, and just the overall image is quite intense. Um, I would take your social hacker hideout and actually put your props inside of it. Let me see what these look like here. Oh man, you built all these. These things are cool. So a lot of the times I would say put your props inside of the scene unless, so I was talking about that portfolio where the perfect portfolio is maybe like 3 environments. This is for environment artists. 3 environments and then the props are inside of those, right? But during the transition into getting into having a portfolio with 3 environments, I would suggest you do the one environment and then a post for the props, just like you have here. And then once you get to you built your next environment, then eventually you'd have 2 environments and then your props. Once you have 3 environments, I would say that's the moment at which you should start transitioning the props into the environment posts. It's just a little bit of a personal choice though, and I that's just kind of how I would like to do it. But yeah, the branding, because you have to remember, like, I can see you're trying to match like either the style or the branding of what you're building. And that's usually where you get into a problem where you have work kind of becoming very busy and noisy, right? Like when this is a worst example to like put you next to, but like when you go to Facebook and you get advertisements and there's ads and commercials and all that stuff is all over Facebook, they're all they all have their own agendas and their own design choices and all that stuff. So they're all different, right? So it becomes very busy. All of this feels like each one of these thumbnails was built by someone else, right? There's a little bit of consistency here as well. But just like is being said in chat, the thumbnail brand is about you and not the project, right? So the only thing that should probably stick out is things like Decagon, maybe the Unreal Engine logo, maybe the 80 level logo. But like the framing of the 80 level thing, I don't know. I think mine's like that too. Should change it. Getting a consistency across all of your thumbnails is going to do wonders for your work. Let's look at this guy here. So this is pretty cool looking. Oh man, look at that. So you can see the lighting here and the material and the way it's kind of like showing all the detail and all the little nice ways with the way it's reflective and whatnot. You're not getting very much of that in this thumbnail, right? I do like the logo here. I think that logo would work well inside of here. And then in your thumbnail, maybe just have the image, kind of like this one. I would say you should probably just remove this one It's just not holding up to the rest of your stuff. These ones are getting a little aged as well by comparison of your other work. But like for this, it's like, dude, this, if you could get a light angle on this where you get this sheen going on and you can see the face still, like this one has got it. Let's hang on. Let's just take a look. Okay, so we got that. Let's go in here. We'll just grab this image. Yeah, I'd be really careful adding frames to your thumbnails, just because like it seems to cause issue with like separating out your thumbnails too much. Dude, look, even that is pretty interesting. Let's zoom out here. If you're experimenting with like size and scale and stuff, make sure to grab your, oh, you probably can't see it. I'm right clicking on the layer and just convert it to a smart object. The reason you do that is so that you can scale it, right? You can scale it down. And I can scale it this small. You can see the resolution is whatever it is, right? It's like, okay, yeah, cool. But it's low res now. But because it's a smart object, you can scale it back up and it will go back to, it stores the resolution basically. So keep that in mind. The other thing that's really nice is if you need to do any post work on this, it's pretty easy to do post work on this type of asset when it's a smart object. Because see, if I do this and I'm like, oh, I want to Gaussian blur it, right? For whatever reason, I want to do that. So I blur it. You can see, let me move myself here. You can see that it's now a filter or like a layer, and you can even double click it and go back and change it. Maybe it's too blurry. Maybe it's not blurry enough, right? And you can even turn them off individually. So you basically, it's non-destructive, essentially, right? Yeah. Anyways, I think I'm getting my point across with what I'm talking about. This head is really hard to frame. Like even doing that looks nice. Let me just grab this color here. Oh, it's a smart object. I can't paint on anything. I'm just going to put a layer in front of it. Let's do that, and then we'll get rid of this one here. Like that's much stronger to me. And I know that this is all shiny and stuff, right? So maybe we just not. This is more about the presentation of your surfaces and really kind of pushing them over the edge a little bit. Rasterize the layer. So what we can do is actually, let's blur, Gaussian blur this up a bit. We can do like a screen. And then give it a mask, invert the mask, and then paint where you want like those glowy highlights. Super shiny, you know? I think those might be it. Maybe over here. And then just grab that layer and really lower it and just kind of turn it up just a little bit so you get some nice gradients and glow effect. Some shiny. But yeah. I think that's much stronger than having the light direction of this one and the text. It's about your text in your thumbnails, I think, is the issue. Yeah, objects where you see the front of the object or the side of it only, those aren't nearly as interesting as like an object that you see like 3/4 of the side, because then you actually start seeing the light wrapping around the object, whether it's backlit or being lit from the side. So keep that in mind. So it's talking about this one and like these two maybe. This one's more generic. I would say like these, we're reaching a point where like, yeah, see this one's also this looks really low poly, and I don't actually understand. I mean, I get it now that I've clicked on it, but I didn't know that those were rings, and it's a cool presentation. I think this doesn't even need text. People see that logo, they'll know it's WoW. You know what I mean? They'll know it's the Warcraft franchise. I would remove these bottom four. and just stick with this. Dang. Dang. What? Dang. Dude, this is cool. Okay, hang on. So it's a little dark, right? But like this is another one of those examples where I'm just like, dude, why am I not seeing more of it? Which is weird because I say that, I'm like, why am I not seeing more of it? And what I'm about to do is remove more of it, you know? Let's see if I can. Because there's so many like that. Dude, look at that. That's so interesting. I'm like, what is this? What is going on here? Hey, I tease him a little bit. Make him want to click the image. You don't even need text on that. What's the text on this? I mean, it's Vault, right? It's the Vault. It's a cool scene. See, I'm just getting lost in like maybe the Vault needs to be down here, smaller, and the Unreal logo. I don't even know if you need the Unreal logo or not. Oh my god. Why can't we have animated thumbnails? I mean, I'm sure there's obvious reasons. True Guy's asking about the Unreal logo and the thumbnails. I mean, I think it's fine. It just doesn't need to take over your thumbnail, right? Like right now you've got the Unreal logo and the Vault text is so big that it's taking up almost a third of your image. So I can't even see what I'm trying to look at to make me want to click on it. I would put your article at the end here. And like we were saying earlier, I'd probably remove these bottom 4. Let me see if these, yeah, this really, it's not like it's a bad asset. It's just it's not interesting, right? Yeah, I think you could hide these bottom 4 and then change the way you're doing your thumbnails for these. Combine these together. I know I'm like cutting your portfolio down to like literally half of what it was. But like the social hacker scene, dude, the scene's super cool. Look at that detail. It's 4K as well. Like, where are we at here? Just gonna put this on top here so we can just. Whoa. Let's see. I don't know. It's just searching. Just searching. It's a little blurry. Which you can attempt to fix. Maybe it's just because I'm making it too big for what I'm trying to do. But like that's really interesting to me, and what we're getting right now is quite a dark scene, right? In your actual thumbnail. Where are we at here? It's like it's pretty dark there. You don't see much of the frame or any of the details. So my assumption is that maybe there's not even that much detail there. But like, look at that. That's like there's so much stuff going on here. This looks awesome. So my suggestions for like moving forward with this portfolio is like, so you update your thumbnails. And then, yeah, you could have the TVs in the background. Maybe if you rendered it from a different angle. Lyric, what's up, Smalls? How you doing? Oh, Jiggly, actually, that's a good one to actually talk about in this stream. So, like, on the topic of removing content from your portfolio, thanks for the follow. I've been told to remove old stuff from my portfolio, even if it's a good piece and relevant. For example, an environment. Is this really a thing, or have I been fed bad info? I mean, How old is it? Like my portfolio is in bad need of some work because I don't care anymore. I just leave it. I make stuff. It shows up. I put it on there. It's cool. But I think it when you're first getting into the industry, or you've been in the industry for maybe like 5 years, we're much more critical of those portfolios, right? And of ourselves if we have that little experience. If you have a ton of stuff in here, sure, trim out like some of the scenes. Yours is still new. I've been given a guideline of or stuff older than a year or so. Older than a year? I would say maybe 2 years when you're new. It depends though, because once you get into the industry, the amount of content that you're kicking out is now in the cadence of shipped products, unless you're working on personal stuff at home, right? That's why my portfolio doesn't update very often, is because it's usually personal, or it's usually games coming out versus me working on stuff. Yeah, composition of your portfolio overall is important, and I think I need to be having some of my own medicine soon. We'll get into that later. But my overall suggestion for this is to remove the bottom four here, or when I say remove, I just say remove them from public, because maybe like the likes you got from them, you can save those, or remember that these exist and be able to show someone in the future where you came from or what you'd done in the past. This is always nice to be able to look back. So you could always put them in your blog as well. I would merge these, move your article to the end, and then I would redo all your thumbnails in order to try and bring more consistency to the content. Leo has some good information here as well. Leo the Lion. You have to assume that the person has no information to go off of except the portfolio. If your strength ain't showing, they won't know it. If it's old, your skills won't show them in their current form. So if you improve a lot over a year, update it. Dude, that's great. That's straight up. Yeah, I would say every 2 years, but if you're making content that you're dropping every 2 months to like improve your portfolio, and you can see there's a very clear progression in the content quality, yeah, you should probably remove the older stuff, because all it's doing is pulling you down when your new work is making you look better. But then again, it's all about like where your portfolio sits at currently, and how much content is actually there, and how much content is coming, and how often, right? But yeah, that's a great way to put it. Okay, so the other thing I would say is maybe just work on another scene. Although I'm not sure how long it's been since you became a junior in the industry. The one thing to say to this for you and for anyone who watches this review is that when you are working towards getting into the industry, your portfolio is all you're doing, right? You're pushing your portfolio as hard as you can to make it look as good as possible to get into the industry. You get into that mentality, and then you get into games. You get your first job, and now all of a sudden you're producing content in a studio that will show your work in a few years, right? So you have this itch to constantly be updating your portfolio, and now you're burning your own candle at both ends. So you have to be super careful with that, because burning your candle at both ends is just going to burn you out. And I see it with every single person who's joined the empire. They're working real hard. They're making great portfolios. And then they get a job and they just disappear. They disappear from the Discord. They become very quiet. And honestly, I'm happy, because like that means that they're so focused on what they're doing at work that now they have to put all their energy into that. And then when they get home, they don't want to be on their computer. They don't want to. Eventually, the itch starts to come in where you want to work on personal art again. And I think it's totally okay. And you should know that it's okay. Once you get into the industry, you should take a break from working on your personal art. You should go and enjoy hanging out with your friends. Not everyone can be me or Chris. Dude, I struggle with it, man. This is what I'm doing in my spare time is a lot of work. And sometimes it can feel like a job. Other times it's super fun. But yeah, you got to be like, you got to remember to enjoy what you worked so hard on throughout school or in your personal time to get to the point where you became a junior artist. Do that, you're good. And then you can come back to it whenever you want. And you can take it at your own pace because you're getting paid for it on a daily basis, 8 hours a day, right? But yes, let's get into the last point here, which is just kind of looking at your about page, which I'm assuming is usually quite empty, right? But yeah, man, I feel like I got a little bit of a tangent there. It's super important that you take care of your mental health. Very, very important. Okay, so summary, hard surface environment artists. So this just needs to be filled out. I want to know, like, this is good. You've got your software skills down. Skills here are good. You're interested in freelance. All right. Got your email. Any of your social contacts, make sure those are there. And then this detail is just talk about like, hey, this is who I am. And I feel like this is what I want to do, or this is what I'm interested in, or this is what drives me. This is my passion. It can be you could be talking about photography in there. It's kind of like I just want to get to know you a little bit and what your interests are, and then also like how far you want to push yourself. Like you want to be this amazing, crazy artist that's like setting the tone for the industry. Put it there. I want to see. And then I can be like, all right, well, I see the ambition here. And that's pretty exciting. And then you go to their portfolio and you should be, whatever you write here, if you're genuine about it, will reflect and vice versa with your portfolio. So make sure to fill this stuff out because some people click on this. Some people click on that about button. Man, I feel like I'm getting really, the way I'm talking is it's changing. Anyways, but you always do, Leo. I mean, the button's there. There might be something in there, you know? But no, this review is a little shorter than the 30 minutes, but that's okay. I'm sure you got a lot out of this one, or at least I hope you did. And I'll message you at work tomorrow and say hi, because we all share the same chat network. All right.